Hello and welcome to A Spirited Debate. I'm Lauren Green. Maddi Runkles is an 18-year-old teenager who's making headlines because of her Christian school in Hagerstown, Maryland, refuses to allow her to take part in commencement exercises, and the reason is she is pregnant. Pro-life groups are blasting the school for standing by its decision, saying it sets a bad precedent as other teens will then opt to simply have an abortion. The school principal says he is simply holding Maddi accountable for her actions because she and all the students signed a pledge to abstain from sexual immorality and alcohol and drugs. Now, here to debate the issue are Executive Director for Catholics in Alliance for the Common Good, Christopher Hale, and pastor of Infinity Bible Church and author of Street God, Pastor Dimas Salaberrios. Welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us.
So glad to be on.
Okay. Christopher, I want to start with you because the pro-life movement is much more pronounced in the Catholic Church, and there's been a lot of visceral reaction to what's going on at this church, the school rather. So what is your reaction to the school's decision?
You know, there's a lot of ways you can describe this shaming and exclusion of this pregnant teenage woman, but you certainly can't call it either Christian or pro-life. You know, in our shared Christian faith tradition, God himself enters into the grittiness of a human living through the courageous yes of a unwed, pregnant teenage woman. I think in this story we have today, we see that the true Christian hero is this young woman, and this school acts as the modern-day innkeepers that we heard about in the Bible on Jesus' birth, who said there's no room here at the end. You can be pro-life, but you can't be pro-life and anti-woman. It doesn't work. You can't be pro-life and be participants and protagonists in a culture of shaming and exclusion. It doesn't work.
All right, Dimas, Pastor Dimas, what do you think? What's your reaction?
I mean, I could understand that they're trying to set a precedent and they're trying to hold to this is the place where, you know, we toe the line. But at the same time, you create an atmosphere where people will sneak and try to have abortions in order to look the part instead of actually being the part. So I think they should ask every single student, once again, have you fallen short? But here's someone that's a woman that only shows the evidence of falling short. So I think they really got to be careful with this one.
Now, Christopher, I have to tell you the comparison to the Virgin Mary is a little bit lax here because, you know, obviously Maddi Runkles was not engaged. She has no relationship with the father. The father is not. They're not going to get married. There's no, you know, greater purpose involved here. So can you really make that comparison?
I think the bigger comparison is the social location of Mary when she gave birth to Jesus. Remember, she was part of a culture of shaming. The fact that she wasn't wed to Joseph, he wanted to quietly divorce her. The means of how the child came into this reality, I think, is secondary. The fact that Mary gave birth in a culture of exclusion and shaming, and no one lent a hand to help her. No one, except for Joseph, of course, staying with her. There's really good reactions and bad reactions. And I think this reaction by the school is clearly a non-Christian reaction.
Okay, and Pastor Dimas, you know, when the principal said in one of the stories that discipline is not the absence of love, but the application of love, and this is his sort of reason why they're going to stick to their purpose. They're going to stick to their, you know, holding her accountable. What do you think?
I mean, he's really trying to show people, and I understand what his heart is. He wants people to see holiness is a priority. If you're part of my school, and if you're part of this, if you matriculate here, we want you to really see that this is important. But I think with this case, I mean, I understand his stance, but I'm sure there's other people that have made the same mistake, but they're going to be allowed to walk, and she's not going to be allowed to walk because the evidence is shown. So I back him on having a standard, but you got to be a little careful. So I hope he makes it through this one okay.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Christopher and Dimas, for being here on A Spirited Debate.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
And please check out my book, Lighthouse Faith, God is a Living Reality in a World Immersed in Fog. And for all your news headlines, go to foxnews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.